Welcome to the Deep Dive. We pulled together insights from different sources to help you get really informed. Today, though, we're shifting gears a little bit. Instead of the usual analysis, we're diving into something, well, much more unsettling. We're looking at some real-life accounts. Truly chilling encounters that happened in places you'd think were completely ordinary. We have 3 stories for you, and they're all connected somehow to a bowling alley. Or what happened right after visiting one.
It is quite striking, isn't it, how these sorts of events can just shatter that everyday feeling of safety. It really drives home how vulnerable we can be. I mean, not just in obvious danger spots, but anywhere, really. Even places we think are secure.
That's exactly it. So today, our mission, if you like, is to explore these firsthand accounts. We want to understand how the fear built up and the psychological hit these horrors had on the people involved. Okay, so let's get into it. The first story starts, as I said, at a local bowling alley. It's from the perspective of a young teenager.
Just a kid, really.
Yeah, about 12 or 13 years old. Mm-hmm. They used to go bowling pretty often with their friends. Jacob, Josh, and Mikey. It's one of those super cheap, usually packed bowling alleys, perfect for teams. And then sometimes see this older guy there. A bit odd. They even nicknamed him Creeper Bob.
Oh, dear. That name alone.
Right. He always bowled alone, over on the adult side.
Yeah.
And he had this really weird habit. He'd walk down every single lane, just watching people bowl for a bit, then wander back to his own lane.
Mm-hmm. That kind of behavior, the observation, the boundary testing almost.
Right.
It often precedes something more direct. It's unsettling on its own.
Well, it definitely escalated. One night, a lane opens up right next to the kids, and Bob just comes over and sits down with them, uninvited. Starts making comments on their bowling, interrupting their chat with just odd remarks. And it gets really creepy. He admits he watches them play every single weekend from the other side of the alley.
Wow, he just admitted that.
Yeah. Said he decided tonight was the night to, quote, introduce himself. Tried to pass it off like he was some kind of helpful bowling teacher. The narrator said it just felt wrong, deeply uncomfortable, and that discomfort turned into something much worse. The narrator steps up to bowl, and Bob actually walks onto their lane, grabs their wrist, no warning, no permission to try and position them.
Okay, that's a huge line crossed. Physical contact without consent.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The narrator describes feeling just sheer disgust, and you could tell all the friends felt it too. They knew instinctively this wasn't okay. So they just decided, right then, let's get out of here. Cut the night short. Went for pizza instead.
Smart move. But that physical violation, especially for someone so young, by an adult stranger, that's a significant breach of trust and safety. It's often a major step in predatory behavior, moving from looking to touching.
But the horror wasn't over. After pizza, the narrator and their friend Josh start walking home. And as they're walking, they hear a car engine start up behind them. They turn around. It's an old SUV, maybe a Ford Explorer doing a 3-point turn. And they both immediately think, Creeper Bob.
Oh, no.
The SUV starts following them, slowly, just creaking along behind them. They start walking faster, but then the SUV pulls up right next to them. Window rolls down. It's him. And he says, with this, chilling calmness, it's not safe for a couple kids to be walking around late at night. Offers them a ride.
That's terrifying, using concern as a weapon, almost.
Exactly. They obviously refuse, start jogging away. And Bob, he just pulls over to the curb and parks the car, watching them. So the narrator gets to their intersection, parts ways with Josh, and walks the rest of the way home alone. Their dad's asleep. Mom and sister are out. They need the hidden key from the shed out back. As they're coming out of the shed, they hear something, a noise, but they kind of brush it off, that gut feeling.
Ah, that moment of doubt.
Yeah. And then, as they put the key in the back door and open it, someone shoves them hard from behind, pushes them right inside. A hand clamps over their mouth. An arm wraps around their neck. They can't even turn to see who it is.
It's terrifying, the speed of that escalation. From watching, to touching, to following, and now a physical assault and home invasion. And the target is a child, alone in their own home. It's a devastating violation of safety, but likely causing really significant trauma.
Absolutely. In that moment of panic, though, the narrator starts scratching, clawing at the hand over their mouth. Manages to make just enough space to scream, "Dad!" And that scream, even just from a kid, it worked. The attacker loses their grip, lets go, and just runs out the door. The narrator doesn't look back, just bolts inside, screaming for their dad. The dad wakes up, rushes out, checks the whole property, the backyard, everything. Comes back in. The narrator tells him the whole story. Creeper Bob, the stalking at the alley, him following them home in the SUV. So the dad files a police report. He even tries to get the bowling alley to hand over their security footage from that night.
Did they get it?
No. The bowling alley refused. And after the narrator's mom found out what happened, they were never allowed to go back there again. But here's the part that really sticks with you from the source material itself. The narrator says, technically, I can't say with 100% certainty that the man who came in behind me and grabbed me was a man from the bowling alley. But realistically, how slim are the chances that it wasn't him? That tiny sliver of doubt, that uncertainty is almost its own kind of horror.
It absolutely is. Never having that complete confirmation, even when everything points to it, that can linger for a very long time.
So the Creeper Bob story, it really shows how a known threat can escalate, right in public, and then follow you home. But what about when the terror is completely unknown, something hidden? Our next story shifts gears. It's about urban exploration gone terribly wrong, a group of friends finding something horrifying where it shouldn't be. This one comes from someone in northern New Jersey. They describe themselves and their friends Chip, Jason, Rowan, Antish as kind of delinquent teenagers back then. They liked exploring abandoned places.
Okay, so already setting a scene with inherent risks. Urban exploration, or urbex, can be dangerous even without unexpected occupants.
Right, so their friend Rowan gets a new job as an attendant at a bowling alley a few towns away. And Anish, who the narrator calls a master of persuasion, convinces Rowan to let them all into the bowling alley late at night, like 3 a.m., using Rowan's keys.
Oh boy. Adding alcohol to the mix, usually.
Yep. The narrator mentions they'd had a substantial amount to drink before they even got there. Except for Jason, who was the designated driver. Smart kid.
Combining impaired judgment with trespassing in a potentially unfamiliar dark place. That's a recipe for trouble. Lowers your awareness, increases vulnerability.
Definitely. So they get inside. Rowan says they can't actually bowl, probably too noisy, or maybe the machines were off. So instead, they start messing around, sliding on the polished lanes in their socks, having some, drunken fun. After a while, they get bored of that and decide to check out the employee-only areas. Rowan leads them into a storage room. They're just poking around, looking at stuff. And then, suddenly, they hear it. A deafening bump from below us. Below. Everyone freezes. Jason, the sober one, asks immediately, does this place have a basement? Rowan looks just as surprised as everyone else, says he had absolutely no idea there might be a basement.
A hidden space. That immediately changes the vibe, doesn't it? From mischievous fun to something potentially sinister.
Totally. While they're whispering about it, Jason finds a rug in the corner, lifts it up, and there it is, a hatch.
Wow.
He unlatches it, looks down into pitch darkness, just an old rusty ladder going down. Chip, one of the friends, immediately says, no way, screw this, wants nothing to do with it.
Probably the wisest reaction.
Maybe. But Jason, being Jason, shines his phone light down, takes a breath, and starts climbing down the ladder. The narrator, feeling the, quote, liquid confidence, decides to follow. Then Anish and Rowan go too. Chip stays up top. So 4 of them are down there now. Phone flashlights cutting through the dark. It's dusty, boxes everywhere, stacked high. They start exploring a bit, and Anish spots another door over in a corner of the basement. Jason walks over, puts his hand on the handle, and just as he's about to open it,
don't tell me.
They hear it again, that same distinctive bump, identical to the first one. But this time, it's clearly coming from behind that door.
Oh, chill. Someone's in there.
They all look at each other, terrified. But Jason, he cracks the door open anyway. It opens into another storage room.
Mm-hmm.
And there, in the corner, a figure.
A person.
A human figure sitting on the floor, legs crossed, facing away from them.
Oh my God. Finding someone hidden down there, like the shock must have been immense. It fundamentally changes everything. It's not an empty space anymore.
They were absolutely frozen, utterly terrified, as the narrator puts it. And after maybe a minute of dead silence, the figure in the corner suddenly bangs its head against the wall.
Ah, so that explains the bumping sound.
Exactly. That snaps them out of it. The narrator starts trying to back away silently towards the ladder. The others follow. But then Rowan trips over something on the floor, curses out loud.
Oh, no.
And the figure in the room yells, just yells. That's it. They all bolt for the ladder. Jason and the narrator scramble up instantly. Anish is right behind them. Chip, who's been waiting nervously up top, sees them flying out. Anish makes it up. Those 3 just run, sprint out of the room. But then they hear Rowan scream, "Get off me!"
He didn't make it up?
He didn't. Jason and Anish are just too panicked. They keep running out. But the narrator hears their friend yelling and runs back. Just as they get back to the hatch room, they see Chip grabbing a loose metal pipe and chucking it down the hatch opening. There's this awful sound, described as a demonic scream from below. Then Chip reaches down, grabs Rowan's wrist, and hauls him up out of the hatch. Rose scrambles out. Chip slams the hatch door shut immediately, and all 5 of them just tear out of the bowling alley. Rowan, fumbling with the keys, hands shaking, locks the door behind them.
What an absolutely terrifying escape. That fight or flight response is so primal. Discovering someone like that, the violence, it's deeply disturbing.
In the car driving back, Rowan explains what happened. When the others got up the ladder, whoever was down there jumped on his back, started clawing at him. That's when Chip threw the pipe, hit the attacker in the head, made him fall back. Rowan said he only got a split-second look at the guy's face, described him as a dirty old homeless-looking guy with a bird's nest of hair on his head.
Just a fleeting glimpse of this terrifying figure.
Yeah. Rowan quit the job the very next day. Didn't explain why, obviously, since they were trespassing and drinking. They never found out how the guy got down there. Was there another entrance? Or, the most unsettling thought, did Rowan's boss know? Was the basement hidden for a reason?
Those unanswered questions add another layer of unease.
For sure. The narrator ends by saying the whole thing just completely ruined bowling for them. Haven't been since. Okay, so we've had a stalker escalate and a hidden horror discovered. Our final story. Well, it shows that sometimes the terror doesn't stay at the venue. Sometimes it follows you right into your own home. This narrator and their girlfriend, Rebecca, decided on a whim to go bowling one night. Hadn't been in ages, apparently weren't very good at it. But the night takes a turn when Rebecca's ex-boyfriend shows up with his friends, bowling just a few lanes away. Very. Rebecca wants to leave immediately, so they pack up. As Rebecca waits in the car, the narrator goes to return the shoes. They think the ex saw them at the counter, but they don't mention it to Rebecca, just want to avoid drama. Their plan B, go home, crack open some wine, and play Wii bowling instead.
A much safer option, you'd think. Moving from that potential social discomfort with the ex back to the presumed safety and comfort of home. It sets up a stark contrast for what happens next.
Exactly. So they get home, turn on the Wii, get the wine, put some music on, playing Wii bowling, relaxing. Much better than the real thing, they thought. Until the song playing ends. And in that sudden quiet, they both hear it. A distinct sound from upstairs, like a heavy object being dropped on the floor.
The first sign something's wrong.
They look at each other like, did you hear that? Yep, both did. Narrator turns the music off, goes upstairs to check, looks in every room, under beds, turns on all the lights, finds absolutely nothing, feels relieved, but still, a bit puzzled by the noise. About half an hour passes. They decide to move the party upstairs to the bedroom, eventually fall asleep. Then, middle of the night, the narrator wakes up again to another sound. Same sound, some heavy being dropped. But this time, it's coming from above them.
Above the bedroom.
Yes. And they're already on the top floor. There's only one place it could be coming from.
The attic.
The attic. And the attic access, one of those pull-down ladder doors, is right outside their bedroom.
Oh, that's terrifying. The sound repeating and the realization it's inside the house in a space directly above where you sleep. It's deeply unsettling. It's an intimate invasion.
The narrator slips out of bed, trying not to wake Rebecca. Goes to the attic door, stands underneath it, just listening. And they hear it, faintly. Every few seconds, the slightest creaking sound, like wood creaking under weight, something moving. Their first thought is maybe an animal. A raccoon got in somehow. So they grab a broom from the closet, just in case, for defense.
Preparing for the unknown.
Yeah. Then, very quietly, they pull the cord. The attic door lowers with the ladder. They start climbing up, get to the top. It's pitch black. They listen again, more creaking. And they recognize it. It's the sound of the old wooden rocking chair they stored up there. They raise their phone, turn on the flashlight, point it towards the chair. There was someone sitting in it, slowly rocking.
Oh my God.
Just sitting there, rocking. In their attic, the narrator says they almost fell backwards off the ladder. Pure panic. Every instinct is screaming run.
Yeah.
But somehow they find their voice, yell out, "Who are you?"
Ah.
Rocking stops. The man turns towards the light, towards the ladder. It makes this sound like an animalistic, gargling, growling sound.
It's just inhuman.
And then he starts to get up from the chair. That's when the narrator snaps back to reality, scrambles down the ladder as fast as possible, shoves the attic door upwards, closing it, starts screaming for Rebecca, call the police, call 911, until she wakes up and responds. And the narrator's just there, holding that attic door shut with all their might, because the man inside starts kicking it, trying to force it open.
Wow. Physically holding back the threat inside their own home. The sheer terror of that moment, knowing someone hostile is right there, separated only by a door they're struggling to keep closed.
After a bit, the kicking stops. And then, the narrator hears laughter. the deranged laughter of a sick, mentally ill person. Yeah. The man starts talking, but in a language the narrator doesn't understand. It sounded Russian. They just keep holding that door, arms aching, waiting for the police.
That psychological element, the laughter, the unknown language, adds another layer of horror. It's not just an intruder, it's someone unpredictable, seemingly detached from reality, trapped just feet away.
Finally, the police arrive. Rebecca lets them in downstairs. The narrator stays holding the door until the police come up. They wait downstairs while the police go up and deal with the man. Eventually, they see the police bringing him down in handcuffs, leading him out the front door. The narrator gets a look at him then, describes his stare as saying everything, full of hatred and craziness with a hint of confusion. His lip was sort of twisted, like someone heavily intoxicated might look.
Just a chilling image.
Yeah, they never found out what happened to him legally. Didn't press civil charges. Assumed criminal charges were filed, unless he was found legally insane. How did he get in? They figure it was summer. They often left ground floor windows open slightly. He probably squeezed through one in the backyard. The final thought from the narrator is just haunting. I'm not sure why he picked our house. We may just have been the unlucky house he stumbled across.
That randomness can be the most terrifying part. No reason, no motive you can understand. Just unlucky.
It really makes you think. These stories, they're shocking, aren't they? Each one so different, but they all completely wreck that sense of safety for the people involved. Whether it's a public place like a bowling alley or your own home, the unexpected, the terrifying can just appear.
Absolutely. And the common thread, I think, is that raw human vulnerability. These accounts are stark reminders that our sense of security can be fragile. Mundane settings can sometimes hide really profound terrors.
So it leaves you wondering, doesn't it? What does it mean for how we perceive safety? When places we go to relax or the place we feel most secure, our home, can become scenes for these kinds of encounters. How does knowing these things are possible, even if rare, change how you look at the world, or even just your own routines? Definitely something to mull over. Thank you for joining us for this particularly chilling deep dive. We hope you found it,
Yeah.
well, propelling if unsettling. Join us again next time.